take a moment to give a story of how it's going up in Dictionary Hill. And we've been having some wonderful times. And I just want to put a plug out there for those of you who might want to join us. It's not something that's overly evangelistic in the sense of sharing our faith every single time we meet somebody. That's not the spirit of the way that I do things. We've been trying to listen before and try to earn a place on this side of San Diego before we can speak about our faith. And I think it's just a way to honor the people around you and to earn a place through consistency and through trust building to then share our faith. And we believe that people need Jesus. It just means that we need to be present and being willing to build relationships with them. So one particular Saturday, we walked the hill, and we often don't know what's going to happen. It's been wonderful and fun and engaging. And we have been finding various routes down the mountain. One day, we went down the mountain pretty quick and didn't see a lot of people, and we're like, that's okay. We're picking up trash as we go. And we made it across Apple, which is Hamishaw Road, which is the road that I live off of as well, but on the other side of the 125. And there's a liquor store that's right there on the corner. I think it's called Horseshoe Liquor. And on the south side of this liquor store, there are, I think, 3 or 4 multiple like low-income housing buildings, kind of like apartment buildings. They have like 5 or 6 units on them. And being really close to the liquor store, you can imagine it becomes a bit of a breeding ground for drug use and alcoholism on this particular road as well. On Grand, there's been a bunch of dispensaries and things like that. And so just one day, we just picked up about 8 bags of trash in the back of these units. And we were so blessed to do it. I mean, people let us come in, and we were just like, great. Trash is like a treasure to us because we get to incarnate, and people see us, be a blessing to the community. And we met 2 or 3 folks while we were doing it. And then it was the following weekend, I think it was on a Friday, I was looking through the Union Tribune, and I saw in the local section, if you're a Union Tribune leader, there was a shooting in Spring Valley. And I normally skip over the section, but for whatever reason, I just kind of looked into it and saw the word Spring Valley, and I looked down, and sure enough, there was a shooting on the corner of Apple and Grand. And of course, Eric lives on the top of Grand, and it was right by the liquor store. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know that area pretty good. And then I thought, we need to go back there. And so we did. We went back and hung out there and picked up more trash and spoke to a man that told us that he's like, yeah, the shooting is right over there. You can see the blood. And we met a lady who had just moved from Vista area with a couple of kids and seemingly looked like she lived alone. She was scared. And so for me, it was just a wonderful opportunity for us to, after this situation, to go and potentially have a pastoral presence there. And whatever that develops into, I don't know. I think this area could definitely use children's ministry, go there and incarnate some crafts, or think about ways we can work in a Bible study in this area or something else. But I mean, for me, it was just really special to be a bit of the presence of Jesus in the middle of a place, literally, where somebody probably died from a gunshot the day before. And so for me and Eric, it just felt valuable that we were doing these things.
Hey, family. It's just Chris and I. We're up at the house on a Saturday morning, and we just wanted to share a bit about what we've been doing up here on Dictionary Hill over the last few months. I think a lot of you know that we just meet, drink coffee, get all cracky, and then we walk around the hill and we pick up garbage, and we're just out there to interact with the humans up here and start building the relationships and neighbors. Right? What a rare thing nowadays. We want to talk specifically about my neighbor, and so I've been up here about 7 years, and the first couple years was not the best for me up here, but for the last 5 years, I've interacted with her a few times, and initially it seemed like she had good family, and she was very nice, and husband and kids stopping by. I noticed that she was in a wheelchair at the time, but lots of support. But over the last few years, pandemic and stuff, it ends up that everybody's gone, right? Her husband's abandoned her. Her children aren't coming around, and she is fully wheelchair bound, suffering multiple chronic pains, and it's really tough for her. And I don't even know how she gets food. She can't even get down the driveway. And so just in the last few months, since Chris and I started walking the hill, I've had Chris is such an encourager. We've had an opportunity to, just a little more walk up to the house and talk to her. And the last 2 months have been, miraculous, I dare say. We're meeting her at her door. She's, the porch is as far as she can go. And, the first time was just getting to know her, but she was willing to share some personal stuff and some pain. And the second time we went up there, she asked us to pray with her. And ever since then, even though it's hit or miss, she's not there every weekend. We try to do this every weekend, and we always stop by and at least knock and say hi. And she hasn't been there every time, but every time we do, each time now it has been more prayer, more deep sharing of like pain, like this just today. And today we found out just not only the disability and the inability to get around, but the discrimination for her wheelchair and her disabilities, and fully functioning mentally, all these things, these pressures. And we found out today that she has nobody to share this with. I mean, she shared with us this morning, and that's it. Like, and so these are the people they're just around us. It's just a normal neighbor, right? And we had an opportunity to listen, right, which I think is half the battle. Just and we were able to pray for her. And actually, the landscaper joined us for it, right? And this is our great hope is every Saturday, Chris and I, we don't know what God has in store for us. We don't know who we're going to interact with. We don't even know what we're going to do. Sometimes we have plans for walking for 2 hours, and then we end up sitting on a porch and talking with somebody for an hour and a half. And so I just want to share with you guys that these people are, I'm guessing they're everywhere, right? And it's just being out, and I'm shocked that what people are willing to share after they trust you just even the smallest amount, right? The deepest pains they have, they're willing to listen and get prayer. And if we're not out here for that, then... anyways, I love you guys. It's a blessing just to being able to work with the neighbors. And amen.